Promotion to League One is probably not going to be as easy as it was to League Two, especially as we're in the middle of a injury crisis. Hello and welcome to episode 50 of To Be a Legend. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up is the first match in this season's Papa John Trophy Northern Section Group H game against Accrington Stanley, and that's followed by a League One game against Morecambe. But more of interest at the moment, I think, is the fact that we are in the middle of a little bit of an injury crisis. Yes, we are. Just have a look down here. I mean, you'll see high injury risk, high injury risk, high injury risk. Absolutely loads of high injury risk. But more to the point, we have a number of players out. Callum Scanlon is out for 6 to 7 weeks. He's got a lower back stress fracture. That doesn't sound good at all, does it? Probably more of a worry is Tyrese Omatoy, who is our regular starter. Sprained knee ligaments, out for 2 to 5 weeks, which means that we're not sure where the goals are coming from. More about that in a moment. And Regan Griffiths, he's not long been with us. He's got pulled knee ligaments. He's out for 11 days to 3 weeks. So we're talking 3 weeks minimum on some of these players. And new recruit in the summer, James Tilley, out with sprained ankle ligaments. He's been out for a little bit. He's on his way back, which is good news. He should be back in sort of 5 to 10 days. But even so, 5 to 10 days is a long time when you're in this division. We've just got Alex Patterson. He's coming back. He was out with a thigh strain, and Andy Smith also out with a bruised knee. These were short-term injuries, but nonetheless, to have 4 key players, James Tilley, Griffiths, Omatoy and Scanlon on the table getting treatment is not a good thing. It is caused us to struggle somewhat over the last few games, certainly since you were with us last. I think last time you were with Sheffield United and Wigan, a good 3-1 win against Wigan Athletic. Lewis Walker getting a hat-trick there. But since then, we have struggled. Peterborough, we only managed a 1-1 draw. Lewis Dobby getting a goal after 59 minutes. Looked like we were going to win it by a goal to nil, but Overton getting the equaliser. That was after we started to get tired, basically. That was suffering a little bit, and we picked up a fine as well for bad-temperedness. Basically, 7 people were booked in that game, or on our side, 10 people altogether. Leyton Orient 0-0 draw, which I suppose in the scheme of things wasn't a bad result, given the fact that Leyton Orient came up with us last season, and they've obviously done some good business in the summer. Had real problems with Moncur and Eastman, but we did manage to subdue them somewhat. And as you'll see, we didn't have a fantastic time. Andy Smith did in defence. He managed to look after us and probably stopped us from going behind, actually, on a couple of occasions. But a 0-0 draw there. And then we've only managed a 2-2 against Port Vale. They took the lead after 2 minutes. Johnny Smith getting an equaliser after 11. Butterworth made it 2-1 to Port Vale after 72. But Lewis Walker stepping up again to get his 4th of the season to give us a 2-2 draw, which in the scheme of things, I think we were lucky because they had 11 shots, 8 of which were on target. So we were lucky. I'm surprised that Thomas didn't have a better rating, because presumably if they're more on target, he must have been doing his job in goal there, which seems a bit strange. We had 8 shots, 3 on target. I think the bigger worry was they only had 40% of the possession. Having said all of that, we have been tinkering about with the tactics slightly, because I think we started to go a bit worried. I think we should have stuck to the 4-2-4 really, going into that. We've messed around with it and it hasn't helped, I don't think. But obviously the other thing is we've had to do it a little bit because of because of the injuries. So, what players we got available and the formation that fits with the players available as well, which is a completely other thing. Anyway, that brings us to today's game against Accrington Stanley. We did play them last season in the Caribou Cup, in fact, and we beat them 2-1 on that occasion at Accrington. They are our place today, so we'll see if we can beat them here. And then we face Morecambe, who are currently lying in 6th place. Not previously played them before, so it's a bit of an unknown quantity, this one. But should be quite an interesting match. Morecambe actually on quite a good run at the moment. We'll have a look at the table and see where everybody fits after 4 games. Wickham are top on 9 points. Milton Keynes Don second on 9 points. Only 2 go up out of this, don't forget. Then come Derby County, Ipswich Town, Leyton Orient, as I said, doing quite well. Morecambe, who are in 6th. Then Preston. So that's the end of the playoff places. Preston, Bristol City. Shrewsbury, Peterborough and Buxton above us. So really mid-table at the moment. Only 2 wins out. Sorry, 2 wins. Only 6 points out of the opening games. Haven't lost as yet, which is, I suppose, in one respect, a good sign. If we can hit a bit of form, then we should be okay. 3 draws, 1 win, 3 draws is the current state of play. And at the moment, Wigan, Charlton, Salford and Crawley Town in that drop zone. Somewhere where we don't want to go. I think this could be a season of actually consolidation in this league and not jumping too far ahead of self. The good news is Lewis Walker is leading the goal stats at the moment. He has scored 4, which is more than anybody else, and his average rating, his second best average rating, 7.60. Dujon Sterling sounds like a mustard, doesn't he? He's the best rated player at the moment, and Kyle McDonald leading the assists as well, so that's quite good news. Transfer, we as you'll see, 2nd of September, we are just out of the transfer window. Transfer wise, we have brought a couple of players in. Obviously we'd brought James Tilley in, but we did manage to do a couple of transfer deadline day buys, if you like, but we're now going to have to assess the team and fill the gaps with some loan players, I think. So that'll be a job for me to do. Sam Burns is our first player in. He is 23 years old. He's currently 3.5 star current ability, potential to be 4.5 star potential ability. He is a striker, can play left or right in attacking midfield as well. So quite versatile, albeit a striker is his best position, but he can play out left or right if we need him to. He's probably the 3rd best on the left, 2nd best on the right, but the best up front. So I think that's probably where we will use him most. Albeit his heading and his jumping reach isn't particularly fantastic. But we'll see how he gets on. Of course, Omatoy is usually somebody who will produce for us up front, but obviously with him injured, it's to try and vary it up a bit. The likes of Dobby and Walker's not been doing too bad, but we do need that little bit of impetus up front. Or should have checked where he come from. Sorry. He has been around. He come from Blackburn. He was released on a freebie over the summer from Blackburn, which is how we've picked him up. We were looking out for him, but he's basically come up through the academy, gone out on loan to FC United, Scunthorpe, back to Blackburn, where he's not been particularly good, but that is in the Championship. So he might not be Championship style, but he is definitely League One, according to the scouts. And then our next buy on a freebie again, Billy Sass Davids. He is a central defender. Didn't really need a central defender, but we've got one. He was almost too good to miss. He's good heading and he's good jumping reach. He is 6'3", so gives us a little bit of height. He is the best in that position. Can play out on the right side of it, but he's awkward out there. I think probably what we'll do is train him to play on the right side if we can. Might even train him to play as defensive midfielder. But for now, he will shore up what we've got in central defence. He's currently a 3.5 star, potentially 4 star, same as Smith and Williams. So he's looking okay, and obviously would be worth some money even if he just stays a short while and moves on. He will potentially give us some momentum. If you look at the squad and the ability, you'll see that Sam Burns and Billy Sass Davis are top of the pops in here, along with Regan Griffiths, who we've just brought in, and James Tilley, who's dropped down a little bit now, but near the top. So we have 3 players at the top there that are 3.5 star abilities, and potential. If we go on a potential thing, Hudson Dudizak, Callum Scanlon and Lewis Dobby are the best players. Sam Burns, Mundell are next, and then comes a wodge of players on 4 stars. So we have potential within the squad. Finance wise, we won't talk about it. We are overspent on our budget by a fair bit, actually, somewhere about 3,000, and I think it was bringing in Davis that actually did it over. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the scouting budget. We've blown that completely this year. We do have 90,000 left in the transfer budget, though. That was because we did sell a couple of players. We didn't have a look at that, did we? Outgoings. Obviously, Duncan Idahan, he's gone to Crawley for 45,000. We got Spence, Pike and Greaves all gone out on loan. So the net for the transfer window was 45,000. As I say, we need to do a bit of work now just to try and suss out with regards to the players and what we need to bring in to fill those gaps. Right, that's brought you right up to date. Let's get on with the episode. 2 matches then. First up, Accrington Stanley in the Papa John's Trophy Northern Section, Group H, and it's match day 1. And here is the team that will face Accrington Stanley in this Papa John's Trophy group game. Killip returns to goal for this one. He's been on the bench for a while. Thomas has been, but Thomas didn't have a particularly good game last time out. So Killip gets an opportunity again to try and set himself on the thing. I'm not sure why he's on a support. We need him on a defence. So he's taken up. It's his opportunity to try and make a name for himself. Linton, Gamble, and making his debut, Sass Davis and McDonald make our defensive line. Mundell and Pedder in central midfield. Walker out on the left. Smith out on the right. Walker, as I say, has not been playing too badly at the moment. Our top scorer. Up front, we have Norquette as a target forward. And then making his debut, Sam Burns as the pressing forward. And on the bench, Thomas, Brown, Viner, Camwa, Dudizak, Moss, who we've just been in contract negotiations. Of course, he wouldn't sign a contract. Wanted to know why I hadn't sold him in the transfer window. Basically because he was out of contract and I couldn't offer him out. And nobody come in for him. I don't know if that's a bug in the game or what. But anyway, I couldn't do it. So he was having a bit of a whinge. And I just said to him, we can't afford to lose him. You're a leader in the team, which he is. If you look at the dynamics, he is one of the leaders. And he went, oh, thanks, boss. That's really, I'm really great that, you've said that. I want to stay. And he signed he signed a contract. We've negotiated a contract with him. Whether he signs it or not, we'll see. I think he possibly will. And Dobby is also on the bench. Let's go and see if we can beat Accrington Stanley. Off to a good start in the Papa John's. And this is how the two teams line up. We are playing our 4-2-4 formation, while Accrington Stanley play a 4-3-3, but with a defensive midfielder. And Aston Villa have beaten Mansfield in the first game of the Papa John's Trophy. Our first highlight, nearly 13 minutes in, it's Accrington Stanley with it, and it's headed over the top. And we have a free kick, 33 minutes in. Walker with that free kick. And Norquette will get there. Back to Walker. Walker, don't forget, is top scorer at the moment. Pedder, who picked up a yellow card minute in. Gamble, Walker, looking for a way through. Gentle. Smith Comes forward. He's looking to try and get a crossing. Couldn't do it. Pedder does, though. Walker! Well, he's hit that over the top. Another free kick from Walker. Deep. Swings it in. It's bobbling around there. Mundle will get to it. Mundle brings it down nicely, but he's given the ball away, and Accrington could break here. But no, that was poor. Mundle getting there. Linton. Gamble. Sass Davis. First time we've seen him. Nice ball out wide to Linton, who was in space. Walker. Walker's been tackled. Mundle, as he tried to get that ball away. Walker is being tracked by Sutton, and Sutton getting the better of him. Sass Davis. McDonald. We try and find a way through. Being very tight at the moment. Burns. Norquette. Oh, that was curling, but just a little bit high. Smith now with a free kick. Swings it in. It's headed, and Sass Davis over the top. Well, a positive end to that first half. 6 shots, 2 on target. 0.56 on the XG. 69% of the possession. Accrington Stanley had 3 shots, 1 on target. 0.10, 31% of the possession. Not a bad first half, but room for improvement, I think, is what they would normally say. Don't forget, if this ends up a draw, it will go to penalties. And you come back and join us with nearly 75 minutes on the clock. We made 2 changes. Perry Moss has come on for Johnny Smith, who wasn't playing particularly well on the right-hand side. And we brought on Harrison Dudizak, who has replaced Manny Norquette, which means we've gone 1 up front. And we're now playing with that attacking playmaker. They have a corner. Edwards, and Killip comes out and claims that one. Can we have a quick breakaway here? Throws it out to Gamble, who's made himself available. Linton finds Lewis Walker. Linton again crosses it in, but nobody there. It was a bit of aimless pass, that one. Highlight continues, and that's cut out by McDonald. Pedder. Moss. Can we break here? Dudizak. Dudizak through to Burns. Burns. He's at the post. And that's his first shot that we've seen him. Linton throws it in to Dudizak. Linton back in. And again, it's an aimless ball. 3 minutes left to play plus injury time. This is going to penalties if we're not careful. Long ball. Gamble tidies up. Linton to Mundle. Mundle finds Dudizak. Dudizak, who's tracked back from that attacking playmaker role. And that's gone out wide. Linton trying to get there. Didn't get there. Gamble finds Walker. Linton into the path of Dudizak, and he's been fouled. It's a penalty, and it won't go to penalties. We've got a penalty. Is it Burns going to take the penalty? No, it's Lewis Walker. And Lewis Walker tucks it away underneath the goalkeeper. 1-0 after, and we've made hard work of this. 5th goal of the season for Lewis Walker. As I say, we've made really hard work. Actually, he did get that away before the goalkeeper got there. And with 90 minutes on the clock, we're in injury time. We've made our final changes. Sass Davis is off. Kieran Brown on to replace him. We have also to put Zach Viner on in place of Kyle McDonald. And Romain Mundle comes off and is replaced by Bobby Camois. And it is all over, and it's that 1-0 win. 14 shots, 4 on target. Really need to hit that target more. 2.10 on the XG, 66% of the possession. They had 7 shots, 3 on target. We're going to have to be a bit better when we come up against the others. But overall, it's not been a bad day at the office. And we to pick up that win from the first game of the competition. Let's see how that affects the table. And so I know it's early days, but first game off, we've got a win, and we're tucked behind Aston Villa under-21s, who we played in this competition last season. So off to a start, and we've got Aston Villa under-21s in the second game. So obviously that's going to decide pretty much who goes through this group, because with both of us having a win, if one of us wins the next one, then we're pretty much guaranteed to go through. And then it will be a case of seeing how Accrington get on against Mansfield. Right, down to the next game then, and it's that game against Morecambe, somebody we haven't played before. Let's see if we can get a result and get our League One campaign really rolling, which is what we want to do. And the team that will face Morecambe in this Sky Bet League match, it's the 5th match day. Killaping goal then, Tomlinson, Williams, Smith and McDonald are our backline. Mundell and Pedder in midfield. Walker out on the left. Moss comes in on the right. Still no signs of him signing that contract. Burns is up front alongside Dobby. Burns playing as the pressing forward. Dobby as the advance forward. On the bench then Thomas, Sass Davis, who's he's not completely match fit. Gamble, Camwa, Duddy-Zak, Smith and Norket. And there we are. We did make one more change to the lineup on the bench. We put Viner in instead of Gamble, mainly because we didn't have a right-sided defender in case we needed to take McDonald off for any reason. Morecambe in 6th. We're down in 11th. And we have a highlight from kickoff. Dobby to Mundell. Smith, this goes... I never like highlights from kickoff because it goes one of two ways. McDonald, Dobby, Moss. Moss crosses wide looking for Walker. Didn't find him. But Williams steps in and thwarts a possible counter-attack by Morecambe. Pedder, Williams. Oh, that ball's very short. I sold him short. And they're in. They're out. We're outnumbering us at the minute. Oh, and crossed in. And it's all cleared off the line. Crossbar and I think it was offside, actually. Hunter with a free kick. Swings it in and it's gone in. And it's Rawson. Farrand Rawson off the crossbar after 6 minutes. And Croston now, he just wasn't marked, was he? And the defender gets the goal. Another highlight then. Melbourne. It's a long throw. He has got a very long throw on him to young Coombs. And Morecambe come forward again. And this is the problem we've been on of late. We seem to have be on a back foot. Oh, young Coombs. And inside 2 minutes, we are 2 behind. Why didn't he tackle him? Walker should have tackled him. Give him space. And he crosses in. And young Coombs has just stolen in front of the defender. And this is the story of our season, isn't it? Again, another injury, thigh injury this time, Lewis Dobby, and it's just how we're going. It's constant. I think we're going to have to. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. That's another one down. Right, we're going to have a bit of a swap round here. We're going to put Moss there. We're going to put Burns up front on his own, and we might just have to check him in as an advance forward, see what happens. Dobby then comes off as injured, and it's Johnny Smith to replace him out on the right there. Johnny Smith prefers to be inverted winger on that side. Does suggest that we make Walker an inside forward. So that's the changes we've made. And another highlight, Hunter. And McDonald is going to get sent off here. He's already on a yellow card, and there's his second. He's gone. And we're down to 10 men, as well as a player injured. What is this coming to? So we've had to take Moss off, sacrifice Moss, and put Viner at the back there in defence. So we're now playing with 2 in midfield and just the 3 up front. Oh dear, what a day. And we're 2 down, and we're not going to get back into this game now. I wouldn't have thought. Need to probably just go back to positive and try and hang on. And Melbourne with the free kick. We're going to go a 3 down here if we're not careful. Smith gets that forward. Burns and can't get away. He's tackled. He's on his own up there now. And that was a poor ball. Tomlinson equal to it. Williams fires one forward, but they're just aimless balls over the top. And it's been a very, very... Oh, going to go another one down here. No, we're not. Killip making a save, and it's gone out for a throw. Well, an exceedingly eventful first half. Bad news is we've got another injury and a suspension coming up, which means we are really rugged, really lacking in depth. We've just had 2 shots, nothing on target, 0.18. We have had 56% of the possession, though. Morecambe have had 6 shots, 4 of which are on target, 1.32, 44% of the possession. We're just in a bad way, full stop. And they have a free kick, first highlight of the second half. Hunter over the ball. 54 minutes on the clock. It's gone over the top, thankfully. And we have a free kick now. Tomlinson crosses it in deep, but it's headed clear, and a penalty. Somebody was fouled. Who was fouled? So it was Williams was pushed by Hunter. And it's Lewis Walker going to take this one. And he's put it away, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. We've got a goal back. Maybe there's something in this. 60 minutes or 61 minutes on the clock. And with 70 minutes just turned on the clock, we're going to make our final changes. We are taking off... we'll work from the back, shall we? We're taking off. Harry Williams has come off. Sass Davis has come on, mainly because we haven't got any more stoppages after this one. Only allowed 3 stoppages, and because we had to make a change because of the sending off. That was counted as 1, so it's thrown us somewhat. Rafti Pedar not having a good day. He's been replaced by Kamwa in midfield, and we've also taken off... who's the other one that's come off? Is it Mundell? Mundell's come off for Dudizak, I think. That was the other change. And a highlight, Melbourne for Morecambe. And those 2 early goals really did for us, didn't they? We're going to be careful here. Tomlinson tidying up, looking for Smith. But Smith has outrun his defender. Can we get back in here? This is going to be really strange if we do. Smith... inside to Tomlinson. Tomlinson to Dudizak. Dudizak to Viner. Viner finds Walker. Walker is fouled on the edge of the area. Nothing given. But Smith steps in and thwarts that one. And we don't win the ball. Looked like something was coming of that. And they're coming forward on an attack. And we've got to be careful we don't get caught. We are outnumbered, of course. And Hargreaves is in. And he's put it away. 3-1. It's offside, though. So won't count. It's remains 2-1. And there he is. He's offside already. That ball's played through now. And it's all over. We've lost our first match in League One. It's not going to be an easy season. I can see that. And Carl McDonald getting sent off wasn't helpful. But Lewis Dobby also picking up an injury is also not helpful. That adds to our injury thing. We just had 4 shots, only 1 of them on target. Poor day. But we did have 53% of the possession, which we've not been getting of late. An XG of 1. They had 13 shots, 4 of which were on target, a 1.62. We're going to have to move on and hope the injuries aren't going to make us suffer too much. But that's going to impact us. And we could be in a relegation fight this time round. I'm beginning to think this is time for us to move on. Well, after a hard day at the office, we are down in 13th place, dropped 2 places after not picking up any points today. Morecambe up to second, so they're going well, sat in behind Leyton Orient at the moment. So Leyton Orient off to an extremely good start. I think it might have something to do with the fact that we've not been able to bring in the players that we want. We're going to have a look at some loans as well and see if we can bring some surety in. Need to have a work through and see what areas of the pitch we need it. It's not helped by the fact that we've got all these injuries as well. And even more bad news, boys and girls, is Dobby is going to be out for 2 to 3 months. So he is not going to be available for some time, and adds to our injury list. Omatoy out for 4 weeks, Scanlon out for 7 weeks, Griffiths out for 2 weeks. Tilly should be back fairly soon, probably before the next episode, hopefully. But we could do without any more injuries. But Lewis Dobby is definitely in trouble, and that's not good, as well as McDonald picking up a one-match ban as well. So, oh dear, if it doesn't rain, it pours, does it not? Right, we're going to do Forest Green offline, and then we are going to come back for 2 matches. Salford, who are currently in 22nd place, Milton Keynes currently in 6th in our next episode, and then we're going to follow that with the episode after that. Aston Villa under 21s and Sutton United, see where we are, and it's quite possible then we will come back towards the end of October, Shrewsbury, Bolton, that sort of thing. And then obviously we've got an FA Cup first round and our third and final game against Mansfield in the EFL, or the Papa John's Trophy as it is called. Not a good day at the office, but I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of To Be a Legend and new series as they are released. If you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. New episodes To Be a Legend are released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 51. It's out on Monday. If you don't watch my other series, then have a good weekend. See you next time.